What do you think of when I say the word routine? Love them or hate them, they do keep us moving along. So, what are some of your routines? Do you have a specific routine that helps your family get out the door in the morning, or how about an evening routine? Well, today I want to share with you a little bit about how God changed my routine and how it really changed everything. Hi there, I'm Melissa Schultz, and if we haven't met before, I'm a coach who's passionate about helping faith-based entrepreneurs break through all the things that are holding them back from the business that they are called to by God. A business that not only brings them joy, but also helps them make more money. If you're looking for mindset and business coaching to help you break through to the next level, then stick around. You're in the right place. So I know that typically people are looking to start new habits at the beginning of the year. However, today I want to talk about the effectiveness of routine. Often it does include starting new habits, but setting New Year's resolutions is not our focus today. I believe that when you see something that needs to change, like in your life or routine, it doesn't matter what day of the year it is. It doesn't matter if it's January or if it's July. Just make a plan and take some steps towards changing. Well, a few years ago, I was getting 5 to 7 migraines a week. I was also working 7 days a week, but I thought, well, I'm a worker. That's how God made me. I had the attitude that people were counting on me and I had to get the work done. If it's going to be, it's up to me saying, yeah, I had that kind of thinking. I ran my own business as a virtual assistant. And while the word virtual is in the title and the description, sometimes I would be on location. I was on call 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And in other words, I was on a fast moving train to burnout and overwhelm. Well, I went to see my chiropractor for the umpteenth time to get help with my migraines and tension. He told me that my body wasn't holding the adjustments and that I needed to slow down and allow time for my body to rest. His prescription, if you will, was rest 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon. Well, you can only imagine what I thought. And I said to him, "You can't be serious right now, right?" And yet he was very serious. So I didn't realize that my grinded out, stick to itness, the work that I was doing and the long hours and just really trying to grind it out had become toxic. But it took a little doing, and I cleared my schedule because I was sick of feeling sick, and it was worth a shot to see if it would help. So I rearranged some things and I made it happen. And that was the beginning of me learning how to operate at the pace of peace. And when I say operating at the pace of peace, that doesn't mean you need to spend 20 minutes 2 times a day resting. And just as a side note, my chiropractor was spot on because I laid down for the first 20 minutes and I woke up over an hour and a half later and I did the same thing. I don't remember how long it was, but it was in the afternoon and I know I was very shocked. So there was something going on, right? Well, let's keep you from getting to that point. So what the pace of peace means is that we're working in God's rhythm. It's not me thinking if it's going to be, it's up to me. That's me doing it in all my strength and not leaving any room for God and what he wants to accomplish. Now, I didn't know at the time, but those bullet prayers that I would send up to him periodically throughout the day, they were going to be much more meaningful once I learned more about what it meant to partner with him and what it meant to operate at the pace of peace. There's a whole lot more to operating at the pace of peace, but for now, in our time together today, we're going to talk about some things that you may want to add to your routine that will help you minimize some of the chaos and help you operate in the supernatural with God. So this routine was actually developed over a period of time. And while it took discipline, especially on the days that I didn't feel like doing it, I have to tell you, it truly is one of my favorite times of the day. It helped me realize that while I may think I have all these things to get done, when I take my list and I meet with God in the morning, He helps me focus on the most important things. I've moved from thinking of an idea, charging ahead, and then remembering, oh, yeah, God, please bless this plan. And it's moved me into thinking in a way that I'm co-laboring with the Father. So the first thing I do is I make that cup of deliciousness because, I mean, come on, who doesn't like coffee? Well, maybe you don't, but that's okay. I need it in the morning. And I take that cup of coffee to my prayer chair. And don't let me kid you, it's also my Netflix chair. But in the morning, that is where I sit and I read my Bible and I soak in His word. Left on my own, I really am a hot mess. And I want to have a deeper, more meaningful relationship with Him. This last year, I joined a couple friends and committed to reading the Bible in a year. If I'm really honest, I didn't want to do it. That seemed almost impossible to do. And I just thought, how would I possibly have the time to do all that? But I can tell you the year passed and we did it. And I can't even begin to tell you how much that I have learned over that year. And listen, it's okay if you're not up for reading the entire Bible, but I would encourage you to just open it up and read what He has to say. Pick a chapter and just start somewhere. I personally use the YouVersion Bible App, and I grab the verse of the day. And if you are interested in that, I'll put some information below. It's a great app, and it actually has the Bible there too that you could use. I prefer my physical Bible, but I also use that for highlighting verses too. And you can create a community. We could be friends on there. We can pray for each other. So they also have devotionals and lots of other options. So I would encourage you to check that out. In addition to the Bible, there are lots of other things you can do to be in His word. You can open up that Bible app that I talked about. You can do a Bible study. You can do devotions and things like that. But the very next thing that I do is I write out my gratitudes. We have so much to be thankful for, don't we? Even in the hard times when we feel like we can't take it anymore, I find that when I pause and I lean in, I can think of all kinds of things to be thankful for. In fact, I feel my spirits lift and my attitude shift as I write out the things that I'm thankful for. I would challenge you to make this a habit. It absolutely changes how you see the world and gets you focused on the positive things that you should be focused on. Now, sometimes after this, I lean back in my chair and I pray. And sometimes I write out my prayers. If you're anything like me, your mind is busy thinking of all the things. So I will put pen to paper because it makes me slow down and really focus on what I'm saying to God and what He's saying to me. This is where I talk to Him about those I want to pray for, our world, our leaders, my family, my business, my clients and their businesses and their clients. And I want to see what's on His heart. So whatever works best for you, just spend some quiet time talking to God about your joys and concerns, pausing to see if you hear anything from God. He wants to talk with you, I promise. He speaks to us in a number of ways, and it can look different for each one of us. From there, I read my affirmations, and these are statements that I use to get my mind right. These are statements that I have created based on scripture because I know that it's God's truth. There are a couple systems that I use for this, but I store my affirmations on an app on my phone called Evernote. And I'll put a link to that in below the video for you. But not only can you use it on your phone, but you can also use it on your desktop, and it's readily available. And by storing the affirmations in Evernote, I can easily pull those up at any point in my day to remind myself of truth when those negative mind monkeys start to kicking up dust and try to take over my mind. At this point, you might be thinking, oh my goodness, how long does it take? Well, it takes as long as it takes. There are days where I can spend significant amount of time doing these things. And then there are other days where I'm book solid. So I shorten each part of my routine to still make it work. As an entrepreneur, you get to determine your schedule. For me, I learned that I needed to start my day with God first, and then I can tackle the other things. He is the most important meeting of the day. I mean, after all, if you made an appointment with me, would you stand me up? I highly doubt it. And so he is that much more important that we need to prioritize our time with him. And it doesn't have to be in the morning. You can do this at any point in your day. So one of the other things that I do in the morning is I have something called Clear the Clutter. And I don't do this every morning, but at least once a week, I do a brain dump of sorts. And then I schedule those items so that I don't lose track of the details and the tasks that I need to get done when I'm going to, work on something. If you head over to my website, you can download Clear the Clutter for yourself. The link will be again below this video. While I am a digital girl and you love my Google Calendar on my phone, I love paper, and I'm currently working on the Entrepreneur Planner and Journal as a result of my consistent meeting time with God. It is God-inspired. It's a God-inspired idea because it walks you through step by step the routine that includes Him in your business and life. As of February 2022, it's in beta form at the moment, but it will be released soon. And finally, as I wrap up about my morning routine with God, I listen to a podcast or a vlog or a development book on Audible because I can do this while I'm getting ready for the day or eating breakfast. And while this may seem like it could take a really long time, I assure you that when you decide that nothing is more important than meeting with God, everything else falls into place. As Christians who partner with Him, we have access to heavenly assets, and time is never wasted when we take time to meet with Him. If you're interested in learning more about operating at the pace of peace, I invite you to get on the waiting list for the Pace of Peace Academy. And while you're there, be sure to check out and download my free resources. And the most popular one is the Clear the Clutter, by the way. This resource will get you off the hamster wheel of all those minds running, or all those thoughts running around in your mind, and get the repetitive tasks onto a piece of paper so that you can organize them and free up your mind and creativity and run your business more effectively. So I'd love to hear from you about your routines or the steps you're going to take to implement new routines into your daily time with God. Let me know in the comments below, and remember to check out all of those free resources.